Good morning. We'll start with a new topic, leptospirosis. It's a kind of zoonotic disease and occurs epidemically, leading to significant morbidity and mortality rate in the humans. It primarily affects the animals and occasionally the humans, and it's caused by spirochete of the genus Leptospira, which is having two species, that is Leptospira interogens and Leptospira biflixa. So when we see the epidemiological triad, there are three components, that is agent, host, and environment. And the agent, the causative organism of leptospirosis is pathogenic spirochete of genus Leptospira. From the genus Leptospira, the causative organisms are born. The Leptospira serovirus present in India there are again types. Okay, in the species are Leptospira pomana, Leptospira semoranga, and Leptospira canicola, etc. And the leptospirosis causative organism is being carried by domestic animal. Okay, domestic animals will spread the infections, and which excretes the urine of cattle, rodent, and thereby causing soil contamination. Okay, this causative organism is excreted to the environment by the domestic animals' urine. Okay, and the host factor, which is more frequently in males as compared to the females. The reason being occupational exposure to contaminated environment and infected animals. Okay, in the occupation has it is a kind of occupation hazard, we can tell, biohazard. So where when you come in contact with the waste or a urine of urine of infected animal, then you may get the infection. It's more between the age group of 20 to 30 years, because they are with the they are working with the animals. Okay. Then environment, contaminated stagnant water by urine of cattle and rodents. Again, if the stagnant water is contaminated with the urine of cattle and rodent, again you may get the infection if you come in contact. And at onset of rainy season, again the contaminated things or urine may flow with the rainwater. Agriculture workers are at high risk because of exposure to rodent, cattle, sheep, and goat as being the reservoir of infection. They have the infection, and they have this agent. And when these agriculture workers are exposed to those animals, then they may get the infection. Those are the environmental triad. Next, mode of transmission. It's contaminated by urine of rodent, carrier, or diseased animal. Okay, if you are come in contact with the contaminated urine of rodent, carrier, and diseased animal, you may get the infection. And clinical manifestation, based on the clinical manifestation, this leptospirosis is divided into two types, that is anecteric leptospirosis and icteric leptospirosis. First one is anecteric leptospirosis, fever with chills. Okay, first in the anecteric leptospirosis, fever with chills, painful abdomen, calf and lumbosacral muscles. You will be having the pain in the abdomen, calf muscle, and lumbosacral region. A reddish discoloration of conjunctiva. Okay. Then there will be throbbing headache and acute renal failure, hemorrhage. Then coming to the icteric leptospirosis, the clinical manifestation of anecteric leptospirosis will occur in severe form in icteric leptospirosis. Okay, because the icteric leptospirosis is very complicated and severe. It may involve one or more organs. It can involve kidney and liver. If they involve kidney and liver, again it is a more complicated form. And if kidney and liver involvement has occurred, then the condition is known as Wills syndrome. Okay. If the condition, this icteric leptospirosis containing the kidney and liver, then it is called as Weil's syndrome. On involving the liver, hepatomegaly and tenderness can be seen. Okay, liver will be enlarged and there will be pain. Even jaundice may occur. If the renal or kidney is involved, there will be decreased urine output. When the kidney is involved, again edema can be seen. That's on the face and the feet. And breathlessness, conversion, delirium, and altered level of consciousness can be seen. Again, that's about the involving the liver. Then when this disease involves the lungs, there will be chest pain, cough, again blood tinged sputum, okay, we can tell hemoptysis sometimes, and there will be tachypnea, that is increased breathing. There will be crepitation at base of lungs which can progress upwards. Okay, there will be like it is very difficulty breathing will be there sometimes. Then again on involving the heart, there will be disseminated intravascular coagulation, that is DIC, that is very complicated form again, where the coagulation is present in the lower part of the body, can be migrated some other part and will cause the severe form of the disease. Again there will be petechial, purpura and gastrointestinal bleed, thrombocytopenia, shock, arrhythmia again, so altered or improper pulse rate or heart rate. Again, mortality rate is high due to pulmonary alveolar hemorrhage. There will be in the pulmonary region or in the lungs where the alveoli is present, there will be hemorrhage, that is called pulmonary alveolar hemorrhage. And diagnosis is by blood culture, urine culture, CSF and autopsy tissue of kidney or liver. When you do an autopsy test of kidney and liver, you may get this confirmation. Next, moving to the prevention and control. First is about early detection and treatment. The cases of leptospirosis should be detected early. All the cases presenting fever with any of the two of the following are clinically suspected for leptospirosis. Okay. Among these three, if any two is present also, then it is called as leptospirosis. Okay. That's myalgia, muscle pain, conjunctival suffusion. Okay. In the conjunctival region there will be a suffusion present, and history of contact with the animals. If any two among these three is present, then it is leptospirosis. Once the cases are diagnosed, adequate treatment should be given. The presumptive treatment is tablet doxycycline 100 mg bisindase in 7 days. Okay, that is doxycycline can be given. All the patients of leptospirosis should be treated with PHC with injection penicillin 20 lakh international unit IV 6 hourly. After negative test dose in adult for 7 days, the dose for children should be 2 to 4 lakh units per kg per day for 7 days. Then is about protection against contagious material. The people should be protected by using the hygienic measures such as avoidance of contact with the animal urine, because this will be spreading the infection. The people working in flooded areas should be protected against the contaminated water, contact or mud. Whoever working near the flooded area, they should be given all the protective measures so that they will not come in contact with the contaminated water or mud. They should be advised to use protective measures such as gloves or shoes. In case of cuts, the workers should be asked to use betadine on cuts before entering the field, and it should be covered. Then about vaccination, it provides only limited duration of immunity, and booster doses are recommended after every 1 or 2 years. Okay, only for limited period it is available immunity. Again, you can give a booster dose later. The vaccines such as Leptovoid, Spirovac are used for the cattle. Next is about health education. It's one of the main measures to achieve decreased morbidity and mortality rate associated with the leptospirosis. Health education creates awareness and helps in the achieving community participation for disease prevention and control. Okay, by the health education, you can give a you can provide a disease prevention and can control the disease. And control of rodent is required to have selective rodent control measures where large number of leptospirosis cases occur. Okay, because rodents are main responsible for spread of infection, you can avoid control them. That's by rodent control measure, and you can control the leptospirosis indirectly. Next is environmental sanitation. It can be maintained by draining the urine of cattle into pit instead of draining it to mix with the water. Okay, you should take care that it will not mix with the water, the contaminated urine of cattle. By this, water contamination can be prevented. The last one is chemoprophylaxis, that is giving the medication after coming in contact with the contaminated urine. In the areas from where clustering of cases are reported, there the paddy field workers and the kennel cleaning workers should be given 200 mg doxycycline once a week during the peak transmission. Okay, during the season, this leptospirosis season, what we tell, during that time we should give 200 mg doxycycline to all the workers who work in the paddy field and with the kennel cleaning and with the cattle. That's all about the leptospirosis. We'll see in the next